Clawdbot is absolutely blowing up on Twitter and LinkedIn at the moment. It's pretty much all I see in my feed, but the takes are completely polarized. One side saying that AGI is basically here, and the other side calling it a security nightmare. So I've spent the last couple of weeks testing it out, and I'm not gonna lie, this thing has genuinely changed how I work. It's pretty much a full AI employee that runs on your computer 24/7, controls everything on it, remembers everything you've ever told it, and you can talk to it from your phone through iMessage, Slack, WhatsApp, or Telegram, wherever you are in the world. At 9X, we've trained over 10,000 business professionals on AI and automation. We see new AI tools launch all the time. Most of them are overhyped. This one is different, but you do need to approach with caution. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what Clawdbot does, the 4 capabilities that make it different to any other AI tool you've ever tried, how to set it up yourself, and also I'll cover some real concerns that you should know before diving in. First, let's clarify what Clawdbot actually is, because there is a lot of confusion out there. So what you're looking at right here is Clawdbot. This is a local gateway running on my computer that has an AI agent working for me around the clock. And the first thing you need to understand is this is completely open source. It's not the same thing as Claude Code. It's not owned by Anthropic, OpenAI, or any big company. It was built by an entrepreneur named Peter Steinberger, and it's free for anyone to use. Now, if you've used ChatGPT or Claude, you might be thinking, okay, great, another AI tool, but those are simply chatbots. You have to open up a browser, type something, you get a response, and that's it. Clawdbot is fundamentally different. This is an AI that actually sits on your computer, can control your browser, open applications, write documents, send emails, manage files. Anything you can do on a computer, Clawdbot can do it, and it does it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without stopping. Now, getting into the specifics, there are 4 things that make this genuinely different from anything else out there. Let me show you each one. The first thing you need to understand is how you actually talk to Clawdbot, and this is what makes it practical for everyday use. You don't need to sit at your computer and open some special app. You just text it through the messaging apps that you already use, whether that's WhatsApp, Telegram, iMessage, Slack, whatever you prefer. So what you're looking at here is my Telegram. This is literally how I communicate with my AI employee that we've named Otto. And we've got Clawdbot running on another machine, and that machine's always on. So I can text it from anywhere in the world and it just goes and does the work. I've just started a new session with Otto. I get back a nice personalized greeting. What are we working on today? I've just got a simple task prepared. There's a Google Drive folder that I got sent, which has a bunch of documents, and I just want Otto to download them and send them back to me here on Telegram. So Otto found 11 PDF scripts and 1 Google Doc. He's downloading them all now. And Otto is done. We can see here sent all 12 files from the YouTube script vault. That was the name of the Google Drive folder I must have sent him. There's 11 PDFs, also the AI prompt, which was a Google Doc, and it just converted it to a PDF anyway. Now, this is obviously a very small and simple task. It probably saved me 5 minutes opening that Google Drive folder and downloading each file individually. And this changes everything about how you work with AI, because now you can delegate tasks the moment you think of them. You're on the train, you think of something that needs doing, you text it, maybe while you're walking, or if you're in a meeting and someone mentions a document that they need, you just text Clawdbot under the table and it's ready by the time the meeting ends. It's always available, always listening, always ready to work. So now you know how I communicate with it. Let me show you what it can actually do. And this is where things get impressive. Clawdbot has complete control over the computer it's running on, and I mean complete. It can open your browser, navigate to websites, fill out forms, take screenshots, open Google Docs and start writing, check your email, even open a code editor and start building software. If you can do it on a computer, Clawdbot can do it as well. So to give you a demo of just exactly how this works, I've actually got 2 screen recordings set up, one here on my main computer where I've got my Telegram installed, and another one on the computer where Clawdbot is running. So let me give Otto, our Clawdbot, a task that involves probably browsing the web and doing a few things on the computer. So I'm just going to paste in here, find 5 potential podcast guests on Claude Code and give me their LinkedIn plus contact info. So I'm going to send this one off, and we can see now the bot is already working away. And if we take a look at the other machine that it's working on, I'm not touching this whatsoever. We can see that it has actually opened up a browser and has started doing a Google search. Now it's even navigating through different tabs. It's found a blog from Boris, who I know is actually the creator of Claude Code. Looks like it's found an employee from Anthropic. Is now looking for their LinkedIn, finding another person of interest. So this is the CEO of AMP, who's finding their LinkedIn. So this is typically the type of work that a person doing this task would do. They would perform a bunch of Google searches, trying to find blog articles, posts on social media of people talking about this topic, and then coming up with a list of guests to contact. So back on my main computer where I sent this task off via Telegram, I could have easily just sent this as well from my phone. We can see I sent this task off at 5:47, and literally just 2 minutes later, we have our response from Otto, from our agent that went and did this work. It's come up with 5 solid Claude Code podcast guests. Number 1, obviously the person who created Claude Code, so pretty fitting. For each one, we get a little reason why they would be a good guest. Also getting the LinkedIn URL that I asked for, and in some cases, even the email address, which will probably blur out here. But this is absolutely amazing. As I said, imagine you're just on a walk, you realize, hey, I need to plan my next podcast. Just send this one message and you have your agent doing a lot of the work. Now, if you're finding this useful, do me a favor and hit that like button. It generally helps us reach more people with content like this. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's a good time because we're putting out a lot more content on tools like this. Third thing that makes Clawdbot different is that it can actually access the tool you use. Let me show you exactly what I mean with a quick comparison with ChatGPT. So I asked ChatGPT a very simple question saying, hey, I hosted a live workshop last week on Zoom with Aaron from Gumloop. Can you take a look at the transcript and identify any highlights I could use as a post for LinkedIn? And we can see in the response, of course, as much as ChatGPT would like to help us, it absolutely cannot whatsoever. It's asking us to actually upload or paste the Zoom transcript here, and that's not saving me any time whatsoever. Now, watch what happens when I ask that same question to my Clawdbot. And literally a couple of seconds later, it already gives me the first response. It found the transcript from January 29. Let me dig through it for highlights. And now in under a minute, it's already actually pulled in that transcript and given us the highlights or ideas for posts on LinkedIn. Just to prove to you guys that this was not hallucinating, I'm going to ask another question here. What was the workshop about? And can you send me the Zoom recording link? This is, again, something that absolutely ChatGPT would not be able to do. And now it's given an answer. So it's given the full workshop summary, 9x Live with Aaron Korenblit, head of community at Gumloop, build an AI agent live. You and Aaron built 3 AI agents live. With regards to the recording link, it says, I don't have it stored. Let me just follow up and ask it. Can you grab it from the API? And let's see. And now with just a little bit of encouragement, now we have the link directly to the recording on Zoom. Let me open this one up and take a look. And here we can see it found the exact Loom recording, January 29th, build an AI agent live with us. Let's take a look. Yep, there's Aaron working his magic. And what I really want to emphasize here, this works with all tools I use, whether it's calendar, email, Notion, whatever I choose to give it access to. Clawdbot can pull in information, take actions, actually do things inside these tools, not just talk about them. And the fourth capability, and honestly, this is what makes Clawdbot feel less like a tool and more like an actual employee, is that it can be proactive. It doesn't just wait for you to tell it what to do. It can take initiative on its own. So Clawdbot has these things called heartbeats where it proactively checks in and looks for things that need attention. And you can also set up scheduled tasks, cron jobs. So it runs certain jobs at specific times without you having to remember. So for example, for myself, I'm trying to put out a lot of content on different platforms. We have live workshops, we have YouTube videos. I need to post regularly on LinkedIn. I've set up my Clawdbot to do a daily content check-in, and you can see here there's an event promo needed. We've got a live workshop in a couple of days, and I haven't actually posted about this yet on LinkedIn, and we've also got some unpromoted YouTube videos. This is huge because it completely flips the dynamic. With ChatGPT or Claude, you have to go to them, open the app, type a question, wait for a response. With Clawdbot, it's coming to you. It's checking in, it's reminding you, it's doing background work without needing to be asked every time. And that's one of the main reasons why people are so excited about this and actually referring to Clawdbot as an employee. Now let me show you exactly how to set this up for yourself. First, where does it run? You've got a couple of options. The cheapest option is a virtual private server, a VPS. You can set one up on AWS or any cloud provider for a few dollars a month. If you've got a spare computer at home or a spare laptop lying around, that works really, really well. Or if you want the premium setup, you can go out and grab a Mac Mini or a Mac Studio or any dedicated machine that you can have running 24/7. The important thing is though, you want to have Clawdbot running in its own environment, not on your main work work computer, at least at first, because the thing is it has full access, like I showed before. So you want to keep it separate until you're comfortable with how it works. So for me, I actually had an old MacBook lying around at home, and that way I could test this out without going out and getting a Mac Mini. Now, before installing Clawdbot, what I actually did is I completely wiped that old laptop. There were no old files on it whatsoever, logged out of all accounts, a completely blank slate, and then I went ahead and installed Clawdbot. Also, one approach that I've done, I'm not giving it access to everything. It doesn't have login to my emails. It doesn't log in as me. I've actually created its very own email and accounts, and I use a password tool like Bitwarden or OnePass to control what passwords it has access to. So now I'm on my old MacBook that I've completely wiped clean, and to install this, we want to go to OpenClaw.ai. So this is actually the new name for Clawdbot. Basically, the team at Anthropic reached out to Peter, who's running this project, asking if he'd be willing to change the name. It was all very amicable by reports. There's a lot of confusion between the actual Claude product from Anthropic and this Clawdbot open source project. So now they've landed on OpenClaw, which I think is quite a good name, the AI that actually does things. To install this one on your machine, you simply want to head down here to the quick start one-liner. I'm going to copy this one, and then we just want to head over to a terminal. I'm going to paste this one in. And now Clawdbot has started the installation process. Here, it actually has detected that I've already got a few of these libraries installed. If you don't have Homebrew or Node.js, it will basically just start installing those, or it might even prompt you to confirm. You can just accept those installations. Now, after that is installed, you'll land here in the terminal on this onboarding screen. And the first thing you'll notice is this very serious security warning. OpenClaw is a hobby project and still in beta. A bad prompt can trick it into doing unsafe things. If you're not comfortable with basic security and access control, don't run OpenClaw. So very clearly here as well, we can see the creator of OpenClaw, of Clawdbot, Peter, is not saying by any means that this is an enterprise-ready solution, ready for all businesses. This is really for people that know what they're doing, experimenting with the latest in AI. But let's say if you do want to move forward, you just simply say, yes, I understand this is powerful and inherently risky, and continue. Remember, as I said, I'm doing this on a spare laptop that is completely wiped, doesn't have any accounts on it whatsoever yet. I'm going to hit continue. I want to use the quick start mode. Now, during the setup, you'll be asked which AI model do you want to use, and this is very important because the model is the brain that powers Clawdbot. You can use your existing Claude or ChatGPT subscription, so you see here OpenAI and Anthropic, or you can go for cheaper alternatives like Minimax. For me, Claude Opus really gives me the best results, both in terms of its intelligence and also how natural it is when you talk to it. But if you want to start cheap and test it out, you can spend as little as $10 a month on cheaper models and still get a lot of value out of it. Now, in terms of actually signing in to these tools, obviously you see here for OpenAI and for Anthropic, we can either use OAuth in the case of OpenAI, or a setup token for Anthropic, or we have the option of API keys. If you are using these setup tokens or OAuth, also tread carefully because there have been reports of Anthropic actually shutting down people's Claude's accounts when they use it through Clawdbot. I'm just going to show you how simple it is to log in through OAuth here, for instance, with OpenAI. I'm going to choose ChatGPT OAuth. What it's going to do, it's going to open up a screen and basically just ask me to log into my ChatGPT account. And now we can see that the login was successful and we can pick which model we want to use. I'm going to use the latest GPT 5.2 codex. Then you'll set up your messaging tool. In the case of Clawdbot, this is known as a channel. So you can pick whatever app you prefer, WhatsApp, Telegram, iMessage. It takes about 2 minutes. And after that, you're live and you've got your own AI employee ready to go. Now, once you've completed that onboarding by picking your AI model and setting up your messaging channel, it's going to ask you, how do you want to hatch your bot? Just select hatch in the TUI. I'm going to hit enter. Now, after you've clicked hatch TUI, it's going to open up your OpenClaw gateway dashboard. And you can see here, there's even a little inbuilt chat application, or you can go straight away and start chatting with it with whatever messaging tool you set up. The first thing I'd recommend doing is just having a conversation with your Clawdbot. Tell it about yourself, your work, what you're working on, what tools you use, even give your Clawdbot a name, a personality. Think of it like onboarding a new employee. The more context you can give it up front, the more useful it's going to be from day one. And then just start with giving it tasks. Start small, ask it to research something, write a draft, help you connect with a certain tool, and build up from there. Now, I promised I'd cover some of those things you need to know before diving in, because as impressive as this is, there are real trade-offs you need to understand. First, security. Clawdbot has full access to whatever machine it's running on. That's what makes it powerful, but it's also why you need to be careful. This is why I run it on a separate computer, also with its own separate accounts, not my main work machine. You control what tools it can access, but you need to be intentional about that. Don't just give it the keys to everything on day one. Second, it's not perfect. It's going to make mistakes. It might misunderstand a task or do something slightly different than what you expected. You need to check its work. Also, if it does something wrong and you correct it and then it gives you a good result, make sure you tell it to remember that for next time. And sometimes it might also tell you that it's not able to do a certain task, like we saw before with the Zoom recording example, and you just need to encourage it along saying, figure out how we can do this. Thirdly, the cost. While the software Clawdbot is free, it's open source, the AI model that powers it is not free. If you're using Claude Opus, which gives you the best results, and especially if you're authenticating via API key, the costs can run up really, really quickly. For example, I was running this via API for 3 days and already used up $80 worth of credit. So really, trust me, this is genuinely impressive, and I hope people do play around and test out this technology, but make sure you're being cautious. Start on a separate machine, give it limited access at first, and then build trust over time. Now, stepping back for a second, this technology is available right now, and most people have no idea it exists. An AI that can operate a computer, access your tools, and work around the clock, that's not a small thing. The way I see it, the people who learn to work alongside AI, the ones who know how to direct it, set it up, get the most out of it, these are the people who are going to have a real advantage. And that's why I made this video, not to hype you up, but make sure you're equipped with the knowledge of what's possible. Now, if you're intrigued by what Clawdbot offers, but still a bit hesitant about having an AI run wild on your computer, there is another option. It's called Claude Code. It's just as powerful, but you stay in control. You run it when you want, you watch it work, and you close it when you're done. And if you want to see it in action, click this video. I want to walk you through 8 practical use cases of Claude Code that anyone can benefit from. We're talking building apps, automating workflows, writing entire code bases, things that would normally take a developer days. So be sure to check that one out, and I'll see you over there.